Alrighty, welcome traders. It is Thursday, December 28th, 2023. One more trading day to go in this year, and we're almost done for the year of 2023. Excited for 2024. Got some great new things for you guys, but I want to jump into our nightly wrap up and our daily review of the markets and see what we have to do tomorrow. We got one trading day left. Let's see if we can make the most of it. And markets were just flat on the session today. Really didn't do a single thing out there. If we're looking at SPY here, was up 0.18. Okay, so 18 cents higher today. Now, again, it's still higher. So it's still what, 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 of the last trading sessions have been slightly higher. Not much of a Santa rally, but still a rally. And there's still 3 more trading sessions in this Santa rally, technically. We remain overbought on the daily chart. We are overbought on the weekly chart. So no shock there. Markets are still overextended. I don't like anything long here at all on SPY. If we're taking a look at the Qs, I saw a little bit of a pullback today, 20 cents down on the Qs. So we did manage to break through yesterday's all-time high. And so we did actually set a new all-time high on the day. We'll bump this up. But we failed at it and actually closed slightly lower. We remain overbought on RSI on both the weekly and the daily charts here. However, one thing to take a look at is the MACD has been slowly selling off. Nothing major, but it's been really curving down. So I think we may be running out. And one thing I think to really take a look at is look at this RSI. Look at this level here when it hit a high on this session of 77.49. And look where it is today at 73. So while you set new highs yesterday and today, RSI is not hitting new highs. So you have some divergence in RSI. That's a pretty telling sign that maybe we start to reverse. I mean, you are overbought weekly and daily. Would not be surprising to see a little bit of a sell-off. I don't know how bad, but a decent sell-off potentially coming. And then on IWM, we had a decent little pullback on the session, but we remain overbought here as well. But same type of scenario as we're looking at the RSI here. This continues to head lower while we continue to head higher here. So good divergence in RSI and MACD heading lower. So you're definitely running out of some steam here in this overbought area. SPY, yeah, same type of thing here. This this divergence in RSI. So there's a divergence in the force potentially here. Is that setting us up for a decent little pullback coming in the next several sessions or week? I think it's something to keep an eye on, but you definitely are seeing that we are not setting new highs on RSI here. In fact, we are setting lower highs consistently as we moved up. So with MACD falling, RSI not hitting new highs while the market's hitting new recent highs, I think that's setting us up for a decent little bit of a pullback here. Now, we've been talking about what happens when the S&P 500 stocks over the 50-day moving averages get to this 90 level, which they hit, bumped around a bit, and then starting to sell off a bit today. MACD, RSI heading lower. Can this take us down? Does it take the market down? Let's take a quick look at the put-call ratio here. And this thing didn't get into an overdone level here, but you're starting to get a little bit of a curve up, right? So we'll keep an eye on it. But as the markets continue to march higher, all right, we're now breaking the downtrend on the 10-day moving average on the put-call ratio. I wish we had gotten a little bit more oversold before this curve, but either way, if this thing starts to head up, right, and people start to buy more and more puts and raises this level higher, okay, then I think the market starts to reverse. So we'll keep an eye on the put-call ratio, but again, that's another one here that if we start to see more and more trading as this thing moves higher. It's not doing anything right now overall, just a little lower. But if we get a break higher and we start to head back up towards this one, and we can stay up there for a bit, I think that bodes again for a little bit of a market sell-off. VIX not indicating that there's any increase in volatility. In fact, MACD and RSI just continue to fall here. I'm going to add the 50 levels here. Okay, so let me grab those. And we're going to add the 50 levels, which is my favorite level to watch on RSI to see if there's anything starting to happen. Excuse me. Here. So MACD is heading lower on the VIX, and RSI is heading lower. So VIX still in a downtrend. It's in a bit of a squeeze. Is it ready to potentially break? So you've been in a squeeze now for quite a few sessions, really coiling up potentially for a move. And this has been really flat for quite some time. Do we get a spike back here into the 20s? Maybe more. I don't know, but this is probably where I'm starting to, to think, I think this market's starting to run out of juice here. So we'll keep an eye on it. The U.S. dollar on the day down slightly, so we're down again on the day. In fact, looks like it opened higher on the session. Right now it's down in the after hours, so a little bit of a bump in the U.S. dollar. Looking at the 10-year on the session today, this thing just getting a little bit of a bounce at the bottom here, being oversold. Okay, extremely low. MACD's trying to move higher, and you're getting close to oversold levels on the weekly. So I think we might be starting to see the limits to where this 10-day or 10-year moving average, the 10-year Treasury index rates, do we start to bottom out here, which means are we starting to hit a bit of a top on TLT? We're going to be watching this trend line pretty carefully to see, does this thing start to roll over? RSI heading lower. Now, these recent highs were not being supported by RSI again. So this might be a spot that you may want to consider taking some profits off the table if you've been long on TLT. I certainly would not be getting long TLT in here. And I don't know what I was watching this week, even yesterday, about indicating, I guess it's the Fed Watch tool, but indicating that potentially we were going to, see a bunch more reversals this year. So we'll take a quick look at that and take a look and see. But let me see if I can pull anything up. If we look at the probabilities here, where are on the Fed Watch tool, let me share this screen with you guys, and let's take a look at it together. Okay, so as we're looking in here on the Fed Watch tool, understanding where we are with the current rates, again, sitting here at 525, 550, and we're looking at the probability. So where are the probabilities of the 525, 50? Okay, 82% that we stay there in the January meeting. However, there is a 18% of chance right now of a 25 basis point cut in January, end of January. Then the March is 72% that we cut at least one, or at least 25% by then, if not 15% of a 50 basis point cut. And then by May, 70% chance that we've got that we've already got two cuts or 50 basis points cut out of it. Then by June, we're looking at almost a 67% chance of three cuts by June, a 60% chance by July of four cuts or five cuts. So we could be down here of four full cuts by July. So four cuts by July, then we're kind of iffy after that, but there's still almost a 60% chance another cut here. So the way this is looking is that according to the probability charts here on the Fed Fund futures is will probably stay the same in January, but then starting in March, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right now. So they're targeting 6 potential rate cuts at 40% or better of getting to 6 rate cuts by November. That's a lot farther ahead than I think most people have been thinking. I think that's absolutely bananas without something going drastically wrong in the market, but what do I know? We'll play the market that is in front of us. And what's in front of us right now is with the dollar dropping on the day, you had the Aussie dollar just up fractionally on the session. You had the British pound fractionally higher. You got the Canadian dollar here lower on the session. And then you got the euro here lower on the session as well. So you had a bunch of these lower on the session. British pound was lower. I mean, everything was lower on the session today. They're all up fractionally in aftermarket. All right, gold. So where are we in gold? So gold's been into this resistance zone 1, 2, 3 times. I think it may even be more if we go backwards, but it's trying to break through this resistance zone, which it can't seem to do on any kind of a consistent basis. It's peaked above it twice, okay, and then gold pulled back decently today. So we had gold dropping on the session. We'll keep watching this, this trend line. I don't know how accurate it really is on this trend line, but we'll see. Does gold continue its move higher? MACD starting to flip down a bit. And if we're looking at the weekly chart, still very bullish on gold. But that's a nice thing to see. All right, so taking a look at the lean hog futures here. As we look at lean hogs, dropping. I'm not sure that I like it here for any kind of a trade. You're in a pretty good downtrend on the weekly. You're in a pretty decent downtrend on the daily. I don't see any reason to pull the trigger anywhere in here. However, on HG, as we get into copper, I think the weekly looks pretty strong, and daily's just kind of mixed and hanging out in here. I'm starting to like it more and more if we get any kind of a pullback from here. If we get to this 21-day moving average, I think a strangle is absolutely warranted. I'm going to let this thing play out for another day or two before we jump in. If we get into live cattle here, this thing's really nicely moving sideways. I think it's very strangleable potentially here. So I think a strangle there is warranted or a good opportunity. And then if we look at nat gas, I talked about it. I do kind of like where we are on this. I like the recent pullbacks that we've had, and we're bouncing off this trend line. So we broke the downtrend line. Take that thing off. Now we're an uptrend, if not a bit of a. You know what? We'll go here and we can connect a bunch of different tops to it, and see if we can get the mouse to cooperate. So we've got an ascending triangle in here. If we break above this, I think we could be a bit off to the races on this, and maybe head back up to the mid, the 3. So I think it's a good risk reward here on nat gas. I would be looking to add something new on nat gas. All right, so there's where your futures are. Let's take a look at the sectors from today. And the leading sector, which was not a big leading sector, was utilities up 0.71%. Real estate continues to just pound its way higher. And again, looking from here to here, we're not at new highs, but we're close, but RSI is not. So you got some divergence in real estate, financials, hitting some new recent highs here, but RSI is not. So again, this divergence happens to be everywhere. So we're seeing a lot of divergence in RSI. Let's take a look at the gold miners. Pretty good sell-off day today in the gold miners, which is one of my favorite areas right now. I'm hoping we get a good-sized pullback. It gives me a chance to get into the gold miners. If we take a look at this trend line here, I think we can go this way and go through this little noise here that we had. So decent uptrend line that we have going on here. I'd like to see us back to around this 21 moving average and then move higher. So I like the gold miners. Oil down on the session today, pretty decently. Energy down decently on the day here. So energy has been trying to recover a bit here and base out on the weekly. So a good looking weekly chart. Okay, overall, the daily, not bad. I mean, it's it's trying to get itself righted, but today was a pretty important, technical day where we crashed through 3 different moving averages. So we'll see what happens on the different sectors. And then lastly, if we look at some of the Magnificent Seven type stocks, Apple trying to hold on to that 21-day moving average, even though MACD and RSI have been falling. Microsoft having a decent little day today. MACD and RSI are rising, nowhere near overbought on the daily. It is on the weekly, but not on the daily. So I think there's more upside potentially with Microsoft. If we're looking at Amazon, this thing has just been dead sideways and pretty much flatlining here. And that's allowing the weekly to potentially go from this overbought section and start to maybe roll over a fraction. We'll keep an eye on it here, and we'll watch this trend line. Do we get a little bit of a pullback there? Meta overbought, MACD not confirming that this momentum may continue, and now we're overbought here. That is confirming it. So the divergence here is not is apparent. And then Google been down for 2 days. Now down just fractionally on the day. MACD and RSI starting to roll over on the daily. Weekly still looks halfway decent, but we're failing at this trend line here. So we'll keep an eye on it. Can we get back above this? Do we just consolidate, pull back, get ready for another run higher? NVIDIA looking decent here as MACD and RSI have been moving higher on the daily and the weekly. Tesla, pretty good pullback today, back to this trend line. We'll see where Tesla goes. But I think, we can start to look at another, we had this breakout. Okay, so I'm going to leave this on here. So we had this break of this triangle. In here, we broke to the downside for a day, and then we broke to the upside, and it's been moving to the upside, but not a giant move here. So I think it's something to keep an eye on here. MACD and RSI might be giving up a little bit on this move. So do we head lower with the market? The weekly still looks strong and is in a squeeze. I just don't know that there's anything to play on here for Tesla. Let's take a quick look at the account and show you guys what happened on the section today. So we finished the day with 88 delta, 0.03, really good delta neutral. Pretty happy there. Nothing to do delta-wise. Theta bumped up to 1,023. We added a new trade in oil today. We added a 112 trade in oil, and we quite a bit of capital on that trade that we put into it. So we really bumped up theta on there to 0.3. So it's a nice theta, like where we are on this. 0.3 is the new 0.4 right now with low volatility. I'm happy with 0.3. I would love to get to 0.4. If we get some volatility pickup, I think we'll get there automatically. Net lick, another new all-time high today. So 335,636. This is the highest we have been. So December 28th, second to last trading session of the year, we hit another all-time high. So we're close. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but we are close to we're at our new all-time high, and we're close to the end of the year. Can we finish the last trading session tomorrow at our all-time highs in our accounts? Every account we have is hitting new highs right now. So everything that I've got, not only the small accounts, the IRA accounts, this account, the large PM account, every single account we have, new all-time highs, having a great year. And buying power did bump up today. We put on a pretty hefty 112 trade in oil. So buying power used at 73 minus 10% of that being in bill, 100, and We're using 32,000 in margin on bill, and not quite 10% anymore, because now we're at 335 versus 320. And so I think we're going to add probably another $1,000 worth of bill tomorrow. So I think we'll put another $1,000 worth of bill on. We'll see what it costs. I don't know how many. I don't know if we can do that exactly. Let's see. $1,000 worth of buying power is what I wanted. I'm going to end up with. Yeah, we'll probably add about 5,000 in buying power, which would take us about 37. So we'll still be close, but I might add some more bill here before the end of the year and get us a little bit of a bump. So I may add some more bill tomorrow. So we'll take that up. But we had another good realized gain day today. We closed out a naked put on oil for $2,190. Takes our monthly back up to $4,600. Not quite at our 3%, but still a pretty good deal considering we lost 3 strangles this month. That takes our total earnings for the year down here. Our total net realized gains, 104,386 on the year. And that is a 41.76% gain on our realized gain for the year. So 42% up for the year. Not too shabby. We'll take it. If you take a look at SPY, okay, SPY year to date is up 25%, okay, and we're up 41%. So not quite doubling SPY, but we've outpaced SPY quite a bit. So you could, investing in SPY 25%, which is a great year considering the average is 10%, and we're up 42% this year. So we're having a good year considering some of the stumbles that we've had on the year. We're still going to end up with a really, really, really good year. All-time highs today. I'm excited where we are. Just kind of watching out for what we see in the markets. The divergence in RSI is starting to be a little bit concerning here. Yes, we've been overextended. I expect this to revert back a bit, and I expect also that vol will revert. And the volatility right now on SPY, IVR is 4.5 according to Tasty. So 4.5 IVR, super low IV rank. On the Qs, it's 7.8, and on IWM, it's 34. VIX just dead at 12. So super low VIX, very low IVR, overbought territory, and some RSI divergences here, and MACD starting to roll over on the dailies on some of these indexes. And the S&P 500 stocks over the 50-day moving average, topping out at 90, which is typically a reverse point. And the put-call ratio starting to reverse its way higher, another bearish signal. I'm not calling for the crash of all crashes and black swan, hedge time and all. I don't care about that stuff. You guys know that. I'm not a big black swan hedge person to begin with. All I say is be smart with your trading here. Putting on new longs right here might be a little iffy. I'm holding off on most 112s and strangles in the major indexes like SPY and them. However, we're going to hit the 120-day mark to put on a new long-term 112. I can put it on tomorrow. I can wait till Tuesday. I may just wait till Tuesday, see how things shake out. If we have a good down day tomorrow, maybe I'll put it on. If not, I'll wait till Tuesday to put it on. I'm due to put it on. It's a campaign type trade. So I want to stay consistent on my campaign. And you know what? You put it on here, you got a better chance of hitting the trap on a pullback. So anyway, we got long today, some more oil. We took some oil off. It's still my biggest position by 2x. Okay, so oil is now 2x the buying power of all of my ES trades together. And in fact, if you add all of the other trades I have together, all the ES trades, all the gold trades, the live cattle trade, and probably even throw in the NASDAQ trades that we have, the NQ trades, that equals about, all of those together equals about my buying power in oil. So pretty strong on what we're doing in oil right now. We've got it surrounded. We've got naked puts, we got 112s, we got strangles. We have a lot of variety of trades. Okay, and I like from a diversification standpoint, not only diversify by some underlyings. I don't think you need 50. Okay, I'm sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 underlyings. Okay, I have 6 total underlyings. Sometimes I don't even have that many. SPY is very diversified. It's 500 companies. Okay, I've got gold, I've got oil, I've got copper, and I've got live cattle, pretty diversified there. So I like the diversification I have, but you can also diversify by strategy and not just by underlying. So I've got 112s, I've got long-term 112s, I've got straddle trades or strangle trades on, and I've also got some naked puts on with some of these stocks. So a lot of different things that we have working for us. So anyway, finishing the day, new all-time high for the year. We can, close it out tomorrow. We'll see what the last trading day of the year brings us tomorrow. Does the market start to fold next week? Let's see what happens. But 104,389 generated cash for the year in this account alone. Pretty nice, 42% gains. If you guys like what we're doing, click the like button. Let's see how many likes we can get on this video. If you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Subscribe here. If you haven't seen the mindset video that I posted yesterday, go back and watch that. Absolutely critical. It's just part 1. I'll be doing part 2 and most likely part 3 coming out soon. And if you want to see what we're trading live and interact with one of the greatest groups of traders I've ever been around, join us in Discord. Unbelievable amount of content in there, and we got more stuff coming. So Igor and I putting some great things together in the Income Navigator service for you. We've got live trainings coming up starting in January. We've got courses for you coming out. So we're going to have some courses coming out, and of course the Discord channel with all the live trades and live interactions and your ability to ask questions of a lot of different experts. Okay, join us. Come find out what it's like. Use the code KING below. Okay, save $50 off your first month. Okay, get in, become a member, start interacting in the community, and change your life and your trading for the better. Take care of your family, take care of yourself, achieve those goals that you set for yourself. Come and do it along with us. All right, take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.